The Q7 is a massively important new car for Audi. Why? Because it's based on a brand new MLB architecture. That's the same platform that's going to underpin the next Porsche Cayenne, the next VW Touareg and the Bentley Bentayga, and it means this car's 325 kilos lighter than its predecessor. Now, we all know how manufacturers like to test their cars in the most extreme environments around the world, but rarely do we get to go along. This time though, I find myself in the middle of the Namibian desert for what they're calling a final sign-off drive. So this car isn't a full production car, it's not the one you're going to find in a showroom, it's actually a final series prototype. The whole project's going to be signed off in the next 4 weeks, I'm told. The whole idea is that if this car can work on the gravel tracks and the intense heat around here, well, it's definitely going to work on your commute. There's already been a few casualties as well with cracked windscreens and broken radiators, but fingers crossed it's going to work for us. The thing about the new Q7 is it's the kind of car I could talk about for an hour and not even hope to cover all the technical aspects of it, but I'm going to give it a go and we're going to take it step by step. So let's start with the steering. It's electromechanical, it's light, it's smooth, like all good Audis. If you use the drive select system, you can change the weight, increase or decrease it, but it's got a trick up its sleeve. As an option, you can have 4-wheel steering. So that means at low speeds, the rear wheels steer against the front ones, and that cuts your turning circle by about a metre. At higher speeds, they actually turn in parallel with the front wheels, which is said to improve high-speed stability. And on some of the loose gravel and rough roads we've been driving on around here, that's a big bonus. Next up, there's the suspension. So there's steel springs as standard, or as an option, you can get adaptive air suspension as we've got on this car. And I have to say, this is the real big surprise with the Audi Q7. It's seriously comfortable. Audi's always used to be famed for being for their rock hard ride, for the overly fidgety suspension, but Audi's really taken it to heart and improved it with this car. We've driven across gravel roads, we've driven across bumps and crests and dips and holes in the road, and it's been absolutely smooth, absolutely silent, even at 70 miles an hour. So when we get it back onto motorways in the UK, well, it's going to be even better. And then there's the engine. This is the 3-litre TDI. It's the only one you can get in the UK from launch. 268 horsepower, 600 newton meters of torque. It's very smooth. It's very punchy indeed, and it will return almost 50 mpg, which to me makes the diesel electric e-tron model that's coming later this year look a little bit like overkill. But here's the big surprise with the new Q7. They've shed 325 kilograms from the curb weight, and dare I say it, it means it's actually quite good fun to drive. Now, admittedly, loose surfaces, gravel roads, it's more like a rally stage than a road we'll find back in the UK, but I have actually wanted to turn off the traction control. I've wanted to play around, I've wanted to have some fun, and it's not often you get to say that with a big Audi. Okay, so what have we actually learned here today, apart from the fact, of course, that Namibia is one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to? Well, there's definitely been a big step up in comfort and refinement, and the technology on board this thing is simply mind-boggling to take in. Clearly, these conditions aren't representative of what you're going to find on your local high street, but trust me on this one, if the car can take things in its stride, conditions like this, and be as soothing as it is when it's driving along, then the Q7 is going to be absolutely mighty when we get it on UK roads. If you want to see our review of the Volvo XC90, click on the video on the left. Or if you want to see the Land Rover Discovery Sport, click on the video on the right. Click the play icon for our latest video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the Auto Express logo.